Shake as if you are mad at it.
I don't like to get mad.
Well, smile.
Okay.
We're gonna add some pure Canadian maple syrup. It's helping the Canadian economy.
And we need
do what
to.
we can. We are going XO.
That's a bad and bougie drink. For all the people that you've made cocktails for, who's the most famous person you've ever made a cocktail for?
Cocktails to me are not the end all and be all of bartending, but they're an extra added step.
It's time for the holidays, and during the holidays, of course, we love to spend time with friends and family, but we also like to have a nice, good cocktail. And today, we're gonna make a bunch featuring Hennessy, and we got Global Ambassador Jordan Bushell. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks for having me.
I'm so happy to be here because I love a good drink, but I need to learn how to make really good drinks so I can entertain. What made you want to get into making cocktails and become a mixologist?
Long story short, I had a friend that wanted to do it, take a bartending course, and I took it with him, thinking it'll make my time at bars more fun. I'll go to bars, I'll order more interesting drinks, and then my mother said, You've done this class, why don't you go do something with it?
Yeah.
And so I went and started bartending, and I fell in love with it. Cocktails to me are not the end all and be all of bartending, but they're an extra added step, because a bartender is supposed to make you feel at home.
Yeah.
What drove me into this area was just another tool in my tool belt to make you feel at home in my bar. And yeah, it led me to being the global ambassador for Hennessy.
And like your role is pretty big. Like it comes with a lot of weight. Like global ambassador, you're creating cocktails for people around the world to consume using Hennessy.
Honestly, my role is really simple in that way. I find very little it doesn't go well with, and a lot that it does go well with.
Well, I want you to expand my palate. Which ones are we making?
We're gonna be making a French 75 because that's for, a little bit more of a higher level celebratory moment.
That's a bad and bougie drink.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then we've got a spiced orange smash. This is kind of playing with the flavors of the season and working really well together. Then we've got something called an extra old fashioned, which is gonna be playing with XO, so a little bit elevated spirit level, using some ingredients like maple syrup. They're gonna highlight those rich notes we just talked about that the barrel gives. And that's gonna be really beautiful in that way.
Which one are we making first?
Spiced orange smash.
And what's in the spiced orange smash?
So spiced orange smash is gonna use some orange marmalade, and the advantage is it won't go bad as often as oranges would. So you can have this, use a scoop of it, come back to it months later in the fridge, and it's still good for you. With this, we're gonna use an Italian Amaro that's gonna add a lot of spice, and then we're gonna add some bitters and some Hennessy.
Okay.
So you just do a scoop, I call it like a heaping tablespoon of orange marmalade. I'm gonna add 2 because I'm making a drink for both of us.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna add a ½ ounce of simple syrup to this.
Okay. And like when you're measuring, like, do you have to be exact, or is it okay if you go a little bit over, a little bit under?
Depends on the complexity of the cocktail. Yeah. Like I think the more ingredients you have, the more exacting you wanna be.
Okay, good. Because there are some people out there, they're like, they just go off of memory.
Just pour.
Yeah, they just pour and then they taste as they go. So
I added a ½ ounce of Averna to this.
And you got more bitters going in there, eh?
Yeah, I'm adding 2 dashes of bitters. Now we're gonna add ice and we're gonna shake the hell out of this.
And how many pieces of ice do you typically put in like the shaker?
I like to fill it all the way to the top. When you're using it as a shake, the shake has a purpose. It's not just to mix the ingredients together, it's to chill the drink down. It is to dilute the drink, because if we didn't want to dilute the drink more, then we might just stir the drink with ice and aerate. So the aeration comes from the shake, not the stir. And generally when we have things like a marmalade in there, a stir is not gonna mix it properly. If we have a fruit juice in there, we also wanna shake, but it's also, the dilution is gonna be about a 30% dilution. All right, so we're adding 1.5 ounces of Hennessy VS to this one. So you wanna have one hand on top.
One hand on top.
One hand on bottom, and then
shake
as if you are mad at it.
I'm mad? Yeah. I don't like to get mad.
Well, smile.
Okay.
But as if you're angry at this. Yeah, it's a workout. It's a workout.
I don't need to work out anymore.
And when the glass is too cold to comfortably hold, you're done. That's good.
That looks good. The colors are amazing.
We're gonna add a twist to this, because the twist is just gonna bring out more bright qualities, add to that orange marmalade, make sure it's present on our palate. There you go.
I love the smell of orange. Cheers. It smells amazing. Who would love the spiced orange smash?
I think it's somebody that likes kind of big flavor profiles.
Yeah.
We like richness. When the weather gets cold, we want richness. Like light and fresh are gone. What might be a light and fresh summer cocktail, if it were using fresh oranges and everything, just turned into a seasonal thing for this time of year.
So for all the people that you've made cocktails for, who's the most famous person you've ever made a cocktail for?
I designed a cocktail for Nas and taught him how to make it.
Were you nervous?
I was a little nervous because the first time he tried it, he was up on stage being introduced as Hennessy's new like celebrity ambassador. And I just had this fear in my head that he was gonna take a sip and just be like, nope, and like walk off. But no, it was a great drink. He loved it. And he actually, I was told, he got it made for him in large batches to have in the green room at his concerts afterwards.
All right, what are we making next?
So now we're gonna make a classic called the French 75.
Ooh.
The French 75 was named after the French 75mm cannon that defended France in World War I and parts of World War II, because the drink is said to have the same kick. When you make it with cognac, it's gonna have a depth to it that is very, very nice, where the champagne and the lemon juice are gonna bring out the brighter qualities that Hennessy VS has, or VSOP has, in the sense that they come from a white wine, they get aged in a barrel, but they still have that fruity quality of the white wine.
So for the French 75, are we using Hennessy VS or are we using?
You could if you like, but I really like VSOP for this one.
And I love VSOP.
So VSOP, yeah, it works really well in a lot of classics because VSOP is such a beautifully balanced cognac by itself, where it's not going in the new oak that VS sees, so it doesn't have as big a spice note, but it goes in for a longer period of time. So it's got this mellow, beautiful interlaced spice and fruit. So we're starting with a half ounce of simple syrup.
Okay.
Simple syrup is just equal parts sugar to water. You can buy this or you can just make it at home.
Okay.
Fill a glass with sugar, dump it in a pot, fill a glass with water to the same level, dump it in a pot, and heat it up until the sugar dissolves.
I'll probably just buy it.
Then we're gonna add 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. The lemon juice is going to battle with the simple syrup for balance and complexity. There's more lemon juice than simple, so this is gonna start off tart, but when we're adding the cognac and the champagne does have some sweetness to it that will balance that out in the end. We're now gonna add 1.5 ounces of Hennessy VSOP. And of course I'm making 2 cocktails, so I'm adding 1.5 ounces times 2. And now I'm gonna shake this up. Notice I haven't added the champagne yet, because bubbles are not advisable to shake.
Why? What would happen?
Your shaker would blow up. Now we're looking to strain this into the glass. I want all the little ice pellets out. I want any like lemon pulp, any little bits out of this one. We're then gonna get a champagne. Very nice one in Moet Imperial Brut. I like the Brut for this because Brut is gonna be the driest of the champagnes. So you wanna add about 3 ounces. So now we're gonna add, again, a lemon twist to this, and that really adds a brightness to this drink. I just touched the stem of the glass because again, maybe you're touching that, and the romantic idea would be you get it close to your face and you're reminded, oh, I need another sip of that drink. And that's our French 75.
Okay, let's do this. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh yeah. I love the French 75, so I think this is clearly for me, but who else would love the French 75?
I think people looking to celebrate, whether that be celebrate something great that's happened this year, celebrate families coming together.
And there's a lot to celebrate.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing that happened to you for 2024?
My first kid was born.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So what's the best moment been so far?
We have a little ritual where every morning I take her out, I put her in a carrier, and I take her out to walk the dog. And that, 2 things, that gives us a moment, and she loves being outside. The dog loves being outside, and then it gives my wife a break.
Oh, that's amazing.
So she can have her, she's not a morning person, so she gets to have her coffee by herself, a shower, just calm, and I'm outside with them. This drink next is a stirred cocktail. We are going XO.
Okay, baby.
What's beautiful about this for this time of year and entertaining at home is that Hennessy XO was created by Maurice Hennessy, the 3rd generation in the family, for exactly that moment, for celebrating at home, for enjoying people's company, and big, flavorful foods When we think about French cooking, we think about lots of butter and lots of flavor and 48-hour sauce reductions, that kind of stuff. That was meant for XO to go up against, to be enjoyed with and complementary to. So when we look at this time of year, there's no real better time for something like XO, whether you want this neat, whether you want this on the rocks, or many different ways. So I'm gonna add 2 parts Hennessy XO to this, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of saline solution. So this is just salt and water. So you could add a pinch of salt to this, but we're at a fancy bar here at Mother.
Mother knows.
So I'm adding about 6 drops per drink. And the salt, much like in food, is just gonna enhance the experience a little bit, be a flavor enhancer. We're gonna add some pure Canadian maple syrup.
Is that pure Canadian maple syrup?
It's helping the Canadian economy. We do what we can.
Yes.
I'm just gonna add a teaspoon. So like 5 milliliters of this. And of course we're making 2. So I'm adding 5 each, which would be 10 in this case. And this is just a little bit of sweetener. It's going to battle the bitters that I'm about to add. So chocolate bitters, I'm adding 2 dashes of chocolate bitters. And that's just gonna bring everything together. I'm gonna add some ice and we're gonna stir. And I'm gonna put this in a rocks glass. And you could do this, you can serve this neat or on ice.
Or on ice, okay.
It's sort of up to you.
And are we shaking this one?
No. So if you like stronger drinks, then the stir is the direction you want to go.
And what does your stir stick say about you? Like, this is interesting.
Yeah, that is the axe that appears on every Hennessy bottle. As we call it the bras armé.
Yeah.
But it is really the old family crest. And the family crest for Hennessy, underneath it had a Latin phrase that said, "Stand for strength of arms." And then underneath the axe and the arm symbol was a shield with a boar on it.
Yeah.
And the boar was given to the Hennessy family because boars run straight and true. They'll run right through you if you're in their way. And that stood for the Hennessy's family of when they got their mind stuck on an idea, they ran right towards it.
All right.
And so making the world's greatest cognac, that was their goal. Now, the greatest, of course, is a subjective thing, but in the course of making the number of cognacs they've made throughout history, hopefully they've come up with a favorite for you, a favorite for me, and a favorite for everyone else. We're gonna add an orange twist to this because orange, though there isn't any orange flavoring in this, as we've had in others, it's going to bring out a lot of the body and counteract some of the other strong flavors in there. And if we look at it, orange and spice go well, orange and chocolate go well, so everything should work really well in this.
Oh, beautiful.
And there we have the extra old-fashioned.
The extra old-fashioned. And this is good for an extra AF type of person. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't talk to, you can't mess with somebody who's drinking this.
Yeah, it's like the best chocolate orange you ever get.
Yeah, this is a determined person who drinks this.
Yeah. This is what you drink when you're like, okay, family, I'm done.
Yeah. One thing that I've really enjoyed, just like watching you do all the things you do here, Jordan, is that you're clearly someone who never stops, never settles.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Hennessy way, and that's been my way, with them forever,
Yeah, but it's just like knowing how you started in this industry and how far you've come now representing this brand, but also just teaching so many of us how we can enjoy this great beverage, with close family, with close friends, and in celebratory moments. What advice do you have to people like who are still searching for their passion?
I would say yes to things.
Yeah.
You don't know, I had a different degree from school and I was bartending on the side to make kind of ends meet. And then I realized, I kept my eyes open and realized I actually really much more enjoy the kind of side hustle, the bartending on the weekends versus the day job I was doing. And I didn't really know where it was gonna lead me, but I think you're more apt to take risks earlier in life. And it's like, I took a risk and said, okay, this industry, hospitality is for me. I don't quite know where it's gonna go yet. I'd be lying to you if I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna be the global ambassador for Hennessy one day.
Yeah.
But it came from me saying yes to opportunities and yes to challenges and putting myself in some uncomfortable positions, being in cocktail competitions that I didn't think I had any business being in, maybe that at that moment in my career. So yeah, say yes to opportunities and follow different paths, and try different things and take risks, and you can get to something that you really, really love and you're really passionate about, and that just makes every day much easier to get through.
You've done so much this year, personal-wise, professional-wise. What do you have in store for 2025?
So 2025, we're launching a massive cocktail competition at Hennessy. We've had it for a number of years, but it's getting bigger and bigger. It is going to have 20 different national champions from all over the world, because Hennessy is in more than 150 countries around the world.
Wow.
It's been used for multiple generations in multiple places, and we're asking people to kind of show off those flavor profiles, do it in a sustainable way, and really like show us your passion for the cocktails in that. And you have a chance to come join me in Cognac for a global finals.
That's gonna be amazing. Can I come?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah, see you there.
You're gonna make it happen, right?
We'll figure it out.
All right. Well, Jordan, thank you so much for joining us. I think I know what I'm gonna be consuming and enjoying over the holidays, and I might even invite you over
Sounds great.
to make
Don't tempt me
to
with
make
a good,
all the cocktails.
Don't tempt me with a good time. Yeah.
Hey, it's BG, and I want to know, what do you think about what you just watched? Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below, but also make sure to check out even more great content like this video and this video over here. And if you haven't subscribed to the Brandon Gona Show, do so right now by clicking this button right here.